Good morning, everybody. Good morning from beautiful day in Texas. Miss Mel, she likes to have something to do, and the temperatures are really nice today, aren't they, babe? I mean, we got up in maybe the low 70s, and it's only going to be just in the low 80s today. So we've had this black paint that I was painting with recently, just a little bit left on the bottom, oil-based Rust-Oleum. And so Mel's painting the front gates, or gate, with that. And then we got a fresh new gallon after this one's used up. But we're gonna get this all painted up. So that's her little task at hand here right now. We're using Rust-Oleum because it has a chemical in it that converts rust. And you know, like in the Philippines, you can buy a rust converter, but Rust-Oleum brand paint has that converter type stuff already in it that you can paint without primer right over the rust there. Yeah, well, we're gonna leave her to it. She does not like to be disturbed, the artist at work. Baby, that's why I said you gotta work an area though, because the runs and stuff will start getting away from you. You can't keep up with it.
It's so hard to do it, lad, see?
Yeah, that's why I have you a ladder there, babe. Remember, right there?
I'm talking about this one, it's gonna run because it has the edge.
Yeah, just float it over it, and then you'll cut those edges in with a brush. That way when we use the brush, you've already got it all painted, and then you can hit all those places you missed. Sometimes you'll do it backwards. You'll do all your cut-ins first, but don't know where all that she won't be able to get to, so we'll do it afterwards. Yeah, she'll get it. I'm gonna leave her alone. She'll get frustrated, turn into a mean cheetah. Each time we're here, if we just put even a few days in on something, it improves it on the long haul. So anyway, that's my point of all of it. I could just walk away from it and say I don't give a shit, but that's the lazy way of doing things. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna get busy. So I just want to add a little different color. I was going to paint yellow, but I tell you what, I'm not wanting to buy a bunch of paint. And we've got some cans of this Rust-Oleum blue right here, navy blue. So I'm just going to paint this Texas emblem on the front gate with that and call it a day. So I'm having to dig up, work on the septic here as well. There's two great big tanks in the ground right there. They are huge. One's way out over here, one's way up over there. And Mike said that the tanks, he's had to have them pumped. And I look here and I said, well, the lateral line's not working because there should be a dark green stripe going all the way out across down through here, and there's not. It means it's not going out of the tank and into the line because there's no green stripe at all. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I've got a neighbor up the road here. That's what he does, is septic. And I said, I'll tell you what, when they come by, I'll stop them. So they got a big old diesel truck, man, big old tanker truck, man, loud exhaust, whoa, whoa. And I could hear it coming up the road. I'm gonna flag them down to go ahead and pump these dry for me, because I've got to dig down to that outlet on the second tank and find out what's wrong. And I step out in the road, flag them down, truck's slowing down. Look, I'm like, hell, their truck's not bright red, it's a dark color. And pulls up, well, it is another friend that I just love, Jimmy Hughes. And Jimmy's a schoolmate of mine. He's I think a year ahead of me in school, so we're actually the same age. It's just the month that I was born when I enrolled put me a year behind a lot of people I went to school with. But I was so happy to see it was Jimmy, and I said, I don't care if it's Vickers or Jimmy, either one of them are my friends. So he's going up the road here not too far from me right now to pump a tank. He's gonna suck these out and fill his tank up 100% full, and then I can get down in there and dig without getting a hole flooded full of it. Well, I don't have a punch rod out here to punch down the ground to find where the edges of the tank were, so I just kind of guessed it. And I said, I'll start digging out right here and work down. I think it was about the edge right there. And lo and behold, I was dead on. I hit it right there. There's the edge of the concrete tank, right where you see that black right there. That is it. Well, I brought my truck around here. I'm gonna use that winch again. Years ago, I built this gate. I just built it out of some leftover materials I had around here. But it was looking pretty good, and put that Texas emblem on it and all that. That's cut on one of those plasma cutters. And my dad would come here all the time and open the gate, but he wouldn't push it all the way back. And he would leave it about like it is here right now where I got it. And he would pull his truck up here underneath this shade of this pecan to hang out and visit with us and talk to us. And then he would get in that truck. Well, it had a metal lift gate for lifting those pool tables and video games, jukeboxes and all. And every time he would start talking and backing up, and he'd still be talking while he's backing up. And he backed right into the gate and bent this right here. And I just never have fixed it. And we're giving it some attention out here right now. So I'm going to take this angle bar and put behind that, and I'm going to take this chain and wrap on that and the winch and see if I can pull that out. It's a thin wall tube, and hopefully I can pull it out without breaking the welds on the gate. So I'm just going to kind of go slow and see what happens. All right, so let's see what this will do. Hopefully an angle bar will help spread the load and not crease it. I'm going to put a chock onto the wheel. It's slowly moving. Guess the chain shifted a little bit. There it goes. Oh, it's working. I think I need to move it up just a little bit. All right, that was at that crease before. I moved it up to this crease. Just want to go slow. You can see the gap closing here. Tell you what, that's pretty darn good. Get a little bump past, let it relax. I tell you what, that's pretty darn good. I feel like that's it right there. Heck yeah, you know, overall that's pretty dang good. Well, I'm happy to do that. The angle iron's the trick. You need something behind it to brace it. Spread the load over a long area. Here's Jimmy here with the septic truck, just in perfect timing when I just finished straightening up that gate. They came out pretty darn good, didn't it? Couldn't do that like pulling it with a tractor or the truck, or you could, but it just take a lot of fine finesse, especially when you got a clutch, not a hydrostatic. That winch is so handy. So Jimmy's backing in. I had stopped digging over there before I end up hitting liquid and on that outlet on that tank maybe and flood my hole. So he's backing in here. Boy, I can tell he's loaded too. I saw the way that truck was bouncing. He's got a pipe down in it and he's about to suck it down. And then I can start digging it out. I saw that just a little bit of liquid was starting to weep in on her on the side right there. That's why I didn't want to dig anymore. And this is the secondary tank. So it must, the connection between the tanks must be okay because it's sucking this one down too. another one. We have had really odd August weather, and here it goes again. We've had cool fronts that's dropped us down in the 80s. We got another one coming in right now. It's going to drop us down into the 60s. So I guess the one dropped us at night to the 70s, upper 70s. But now we got one coming right here at the end of August. It's going to drop us into the low 60s. It's all green here. It's just been a bit of a wet summer. Yeah. I'm pretty dirty. I had to dig up the septic on the main house over here, so there's a couple different septics here, front and back. Pump the tanks out so I wouldn't work in muck, they'd be empty. And I started digging down at the outlet on the last tank. So you got a series of tanks, and on the last one I started digging up the outlet, and when I got down there to it, where the ground has shifted so much here, we get really dry and really wet, all these things happening, and we're near a fault line here in this part of Texas. We're right on the edge of a fault line, and foundations just have so much trouble here. Wow, man, that's a big one. Probably fixing to hear it. Big lightning strike. Maybe I shouldn't be out here. Wow. So I was so wore out. Woo hoo hoo. Boy, is it raining now. So anyway, I dug them down and got to the pipe where it comes out of the tank. The PVC pipe comes out the tank there on the outlet, and where the ground has shifted, it has shifted the pipe almost out of the tank. It was at an angle, and then mud had plugged into it. So I dug on out down even deeper around it. Dug up part of the first like 3 feet or so of the lateral line, so I have a little bit of room to work. And that's another thing, I had to dig the hole bigger just so I have room to stand down in there and work. So it ended up being a pretty sizable hand dug hole. I didn't record none of it. I don't mess with the phone with ookie pookie. I was wearing gloves, but still, you know, it's just, nobody wants to see that job. Well, another busy day here on the farm. Taking the front bucket off the tractor here. Love this quick release. Same type of stuff you use on skid steers. And just like that, they're on. Well, I took the tractor and absolutely destroyed this old motorhome. This thing's been sitting down in the woods for years. After a tornado destroyed it, but it still had part of the body standing up on it. But I have been just smashing this thing with a tractor. And I got it lifted in here right now. Oh, he's under the wheels, that's good. I can pull forward. You're on the wheels, man. I'm gonna go forward. Hey, get your winch on it. Yeah. Be so happy to have this as the last piece of crap on the farm right here. Last piece of crap. Some guys was supposed to haul it off before, and they came here and started tearing it apart instead of just dragging it out of here, and left us a big old mess. We didn't know it. Then they got into it with each other, you know, just some people struggling in life. And we end up with a bigger mess than we had to start with. I flipped this whole dang thing over earlier. I didn't record it because, I don't know, I don't care about recording all that. I don't even know why I'm recording this, honestly, but I flipped the whole thing over upside down earlier. He said, God dang, that little tractor's strong, boy. I said, it is. And he couldn't believe it, flipped that whole thing, man. Because it was still a big box motorhome, but I need to break it up so all that wood stuff fall out, because they won't take it with any wood in it. So I flipped it, broke all the walls and off when I flipped it, and then flipped it back again, drug it over and flipped it one more time so all that old rotten carpet and everything come off. Can't pull me sideways no more, it's pulling my tractor over. Come which way? Our old refrigerator went out, and I've been going through sheds throwing stuff away, anything that was metal, and I just don't want to keep anymore, from the old barns and everything. There's probably some stuff that was good, there's probably some antique stuff, I don't know, but I'm ready for it to all go. And so I filled that refrigerator up full of all those small items. I even threw away some pneumatic tools, you know, like butterfly and a butterfly impact, some air ratchets and stuff, because man, you can get all that in battery now, and the things haven't been used in a long time. He's kind of going far on me. He got me in the wrong position here. He went too far. I think he sees it now. He's backing up. They saw that old tin from the barn that I tore down. That's an old motorhome from my father-in-law years ago that got caught up in the barn in a tornado. And that's my dad's old deep freeze. And that's our old refrigerator. And then any other junk I could find anywhere on this farm, compact it down on there. And off of this property.